We begin our report at the border, where 60,000 migrants are waiting in search of a new life here in the United States as a key policy known as Title 42 comes to an end. The pandemic-era rule allowed U.S. officials to turn away migrants for public health reasons. And now the Biden administration is implementing new rules to limit asylum and ramp up deportations. Our Manuel Bojorquez is near the border in El Paso, Texas.
Tonight, with just hours to go before the official end of Title 42, border authorities are preparing for an influx of migrants. Since Monday, roughly 30,000 migrants have been apprehended.
We're going to be ready and prepared.
Raul Ortiz is the Border Patrol chief. He says his officers are prepared to handle any escalation.
I think there's an impression out there that come midnight, people are going to rush the border.
I don't expect that to happen. You can still prosecute, you can still repatriate.
The Biden administration has proposed new immigration policies, such as restricting migrants from seeking asylum in the U.S. if they haven't applied for it in another country, like Mexico. Penalties including banishment for up to 5 years for those who try to go outside the asylum process. Those who are allowed to seek asylum here would be tracked by GPS and have home curfews.
People who cross our border unlawfully and without a legal basis to remain will be promptly processed and removed.
Still, Republican critics say the administration's immigration plans are not enough.
President Biden and his administration have laid out the welcome mat, and that's why there has been absolutely no deterrence.
Along other stretches of the Texas border, those processed continue their journey into the U.S. CBS's Nicole Skanga is there.
Here in Brownsville, migrants are dropped off by U.S. Border Patrol officials after screening. They're processed at this city welcome center, given a meal, some clothing, and limited instructions. Still, many of them penniless and without a ticket to their next destination. Does she have money to buy a ticket?
The debate goes well beyond the southern border.
I'm Adriana Diaz in Chicago. Shelters are so overwhelmed here that migrants are sleeping in police stations, even families with small children. We spoke to one mother who's here with her husband and 3-year-old daughter. How long were you in New York for?
7 meses.
7 months.
No conseguí trabajo.
And you didn't find any work?
Back along the southern border, a new reality without Title 42 is about to begin.
What are migrants saying about the push to the border on social media? So much information is churning through those conversations they're having, and rumors are passing. What are you hearing about that in terms of information flow to those who are trying to make it to the United States?
That's right, and to that point, what I was trying to reference right now is the fact that the Immigration and Customs Enforcement said it would send some migrants who are deported all the way back to southern Mexico instead of just over the border. So you can imagine hearing all these things, all these shifting narratives about what might confront them if they try to reach the northern side of the border is causing a lot of confusion. And when it comes to social media, especially things like WhatsApp, when we talked to the Border Patrol chief, he said that's a big concern because when there are these shifts in policy, smugglers use it to spread misinformation. He's hoping that some of these migrants won't make ill-advised decisions based on someone who's trying to sell them a bill of goods.
Senator Cornyn said the Biden administration is putting out the welcome mat, but there's also a set of economic conditions in the places these migrants are fleeing, countries racked by COVID, just as every country was. Do migrants talk about that, about what the push is, instead of so much talk about what the pull is from policies in the United States?
You got to imagine how strong the push factors are, given that with all of this that has been going on, people are still willing to make themselves present themselves to Border Patrol agents like they've been doing at this spot here. From Venezuela and Nicaragua and Cuba, we hear so much about political persecution and economic crisis. In places like Central America, you hear about no work. How am I supposed to support my family? And all of them say all they want to do is come here, try to do it the legal way, and try to work. So that's what you're hearing right now from a lot of people. But just look at Central and South America right now and the Caribbean, the crises in Haiti that are going on right now with political and economic. Those are very strong push factors for people who, according to the border chief, 60,000 are just on the other side of the border right now trying to maybe weigh their options.
Manuel Bojorquez in El Paso, Texas. Thank you.